Yo, welcome back to the Mail Mann Show, baby. Yeah, let's talk about it. But before we start talking about it, what's the number one goal? We got to think in the box, outside the box, around the box, under the box, above the box. And what is the box? The world is our box because we going to do anything and whatever we got to do legally to be as successful as we possibly can be. So we not gonna just think one way. We gonna do what we gotta do to make our dreams happen and come true. Now let's jump into this, man. We ain't gonna waste no time. We gonna talk about tonight the difference between having a father in your life and not having a father in your life. Both of them can teach you something very important. That's what we're gonna talk about. And a lot of people need to hear this. A lot of people need to understand this. So let's jump into it. But before we jump into it, can y'all do me one favor? I just need y'all to do me one favor right quick.
I hope that you're enjoying the podcast. I just ask one thing. Could you like, subscribe, and follow? Tell a friend. Leave a comment. I'm trying to grow this channel, and I want to grow it with you. Now, let's get back to this entertaining content.
Now let's get back to this entertaining content, baby. Let's make it happen, man. So let's talk about it. Let's jump into it, man. I always like to make my notes and get into it, so we can talk about what we got popping and what's the difference of everything. So now, having a father in your life versus not having a father in your life. Can you learn something from both experiences? Yes, you can. You absolutely can learn something from both experiences. You can learn a lot of great things and you can learn some negative things as well. Because obviously, having a good parent, a good father in your life is going to definitely guide you down the right path to be more successful, a better, productive citizen of the world, um, someone that you can talk to when you are taking on challenges, someone that's going to intentionally guide you and not mislead you with the best intentions possible. Is not going to expect nothing outlandish from you in return besides being a good child, staying out of trouble, making good grades, being productive. You know, they're gonna pour love into you. So obviously, we know and understand having a good father in your life that's active and involved can make a huge difference. Um, he can teach you responsibility, discipline, just a lot of great things. Um, see what my notes say. Now, what about not having a father? Can he teach you some good things too? Or is everything not having a father going to teach you some bad things? No, not having a father can teach you some good things too. Some absolutely amazing things. And take it from me, I know for a fact, I didn't have my father growing up. Didn't even have a relationship with my father. If my father was to come in right now and say hello, I wouldn't even know he was my father. Even though I did find out a few years ago that he did pass, and Kyle asked was I gonna go to the funeral, but no need for me to go to the funeral. I had no relationship with him. Would I have liked to have a relationship with him? Absolutely. I would have loved to have a relationship with him to get to know him, to build that bond. But did it happen? No, it didn't happen. It did not happen, and he didn't get to meet his grandchildren, and um, he didn't get to meet me. So it is what it is. But the good things that I do say, one of the most valuable things for me that I learned from not having a father, and this was even before I had my first daughter, was to not be like my father. Not having him taught me to not be like him. I wanted to make sure that I was an active father, active parent in my children's life. That was a must. It was a hands down. I was not going to be like him. And I would go through any obstacle, hell and high water, to make sure that I'm part of my children's life. And I was there and present to be an active father. So that taught me a lot. Now, I do remember when I was younger, um, I probably harbored some anger and made songs, but those songs were never released and thrown away. I don't even remember what the lyrics were saying to them because some information was shared with me that made me look at things in a different light. And then as I got older and wiser and smarter and started understanding the world and understanding relationships and understanding men and women, my vision and my outlook on things started to change. And that was another thing, you know, it made me understand and look at things in different ways and more than just one, have more than just one perspective of it because there's more than one way to look at every situation. So it can teach you a lot of things as well, but you are more prone to probably getting in trouble more when you don't have a father because it's hard for a woman to necessarily raise a man. You know, let's just be honest. I was raised by an amazing mother, so don't get that twisted. I love my mom. I mean, wouldn't trade my mom for nothing in the world. Love her. And on top of that, I had my aunt Piggy. Wouldn't trade them for nothing in the world. They are the foundation of why Mail Mann is here today. And I had to learn how to become a man on my own and learn from trials and tribulations. But they definitely was the foundation. So I'm not saying that I don't love my mom and I'm not grateful for her raising me because I am. Trust me, I am. But I know it is hard for a woman to raise a man because man, I put my mama through some SHIUC. SHIUC. I put her through it, man. Middle school, elementary school, high school. She had some challenging times with me. Some definitely challenging times with me. I think back on it now. Woo, I know my mom was just like boy, 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 but she never gave up on me. So I'm definitely grateful for that. Not having your father, you have to learn how to be independent on your own to grow up and become that amazing man. And some guys don't make it past to be able to understand how to do that, so it can shoot them into a negative way to follow the leads of not being a present father because they didn't have a father that was present, you know, and then they could have had a mother that wasn't active. I would probably say she probably was present but probably wasn't active, you know, so they didn't know how to be that father when they had their child. They just repeated the cycle. So it can also create a negative consequence as well, but it has some great consequences if you look at life through a different lens and be able to adapt as you get older to move forward in life. You know, that means a lot. And then we also got to address this too. Just because you have a man that is physically present in the house doesn't necessarily mean he's a father. Just because he provided your mother with the semen to create you, he planted the seed, that don't mean he's a father. You have some men that are with their wife or their girlfriend and they fathered the child, the child or children that they have together, and the man is still garbage. So that doesn't mean as well just because a father is in the house and he's physically present, mean that he's mentally, emotionally, and loving and caring present. That doesn't mean that. You got some men that's living in the house with a woman because that's the only options he have available to him because he's lazy, because this woman is allowing this bum man to stay in her place and he's not bringing any value to the situation, to the wife, to the kids, so forth I even know of a story of a lady that's married and her son had to move out because he was just fed up with dealing with his dad ways and how he was treating his mom. And you know, it was just like his mom don't want to leave. That she done been in there for so long, even though she's fed up as well. But she's gonna just stick it out, you know. But that's just he was a perfect example of a present body, but still a negative presence in the home. So that doesn't mean because you are in the home, you're a good father. So let me address that because me and say, see, I'm here. No, no, that don't make you a good father just because you're there. You got a child that walks by you that don't even acknowledge you, don't see no value in what you speak or say. So we don't want to make it always seem like just because the father is there and give those fathers, those men, uh, accolade for something that they didn't even earn or don't deserve. It don't work that way. In closing, what I'm basically saying, um, or on joining to my questions of it, both both experiences or situations can teach you something good and bad. It is up to you how you utilize the information that is presented to you in that moment. Now, let's talk about what does being a father actually mean beyond creating a child. Being a father means you are there through the good and the bad. You taking on the same responsibilities that the mother's taking on. Got to get up in the middle of the night when you sleepy and tired. Got to go get the kids ready for school. Got to pick out the school clothes. Got to go to the doctor's appointments. Got to be at the emergency room when something happens. Got to make sure you're providing, putting clothes and food and a shelter, a roof over their head. Got to be able to talk with your children, listen to your children. These are the things that make a good father. Not saying you're not going to make mistakes, but you're there and you're putting forth the effort to be a good man and learn through trials and tribulations. That's what makes you a good father. But just because you planted a seed, that doesn't make you a good father. That doesn't make you a good father just because you're in the home. No. Can a boy become a strong man without his biological father? Absolutely, he can. Yes, he can. Blood doesn't mean you can't be amazing. You know how many amazing guys that have been successful just because they had other amazing people around them? You can have a great grandfather that can instill good things. You can have a grandfather. You can have a cousin, an uncle, a friend, a mentor. So a boy can be a strong man without having a biological father. It doesn't necessarily mean he's not going to be great and amazing because the biological father is not there. I have to give you a case in point. You know, my mom husband, love him, definitely love him. He was an amazing man to me. He is an amazing man to me. I'm saying it like he's not here. He's still here. He's an amazing man. So, yes. And what made him so amazing, he never tried to come up at me like I'm dating your mama now. I'm your daddy now. He never came that way. He always came in just a conversation. It was always a conversation. Hey, look, man, what you doing to your mom? You stressing your mom out? Da, da, da. It's like I got older. Hey, man, make sure you pay attention to your mom and your aunts. You know, they get older. You want to show love to them. I always remember that. Like he always instilled in greatness in me, but he always came and talked to me as a human being, and that matters a lot. Should adult children eventually forgive an absent father who comes back? If he coming back for the right reasons, and depending on the way he comes to build that relationship, can he be forgiven? Yes. But it all depends on one, how he approached the situation. 2, is he willing to have a genuine, real conversation? No sugarcoating. 3, is he willing to accept accountability for his mistakes and actions? You know, those are important things. And if a person can have that conversation, then absolutely it can happen to where you can forgive that person. Because you got to understand, some people had bad childhoods. They didn't know how to be a parent themselves. So you can't fault them. They could have been a child having a child. They could have been abused. This could have been a lot of things. So if that person is willing to come back to you to explain to you, and it's reasonable, then listen. And then just pay attention to their actions. You know, now moving forward, it ain't like they just come in and you're going to treat them like a person that's been present all your life, but you're going to listen and watch and pay attention to their actions moving forward. And that'll give you a better vision and view of what their true intentions really are versus just what they're verbalizing. Let's see what we got here. Do we hold absent fathers accountable enough? No, I don't think we do. I don't think we do. I don't think we hold absent fathers accountable enough, because why? A man can go out, get a woman pregnant, leave that woman, and not help take care of that seed that he planted in her, and leave her to struggle and not care if that child is eating well taken care of or is in a safe environment, and go straight to another woman with no consequences, no problem. And then we'll have homeboys that won't say nothing and know that their homeboy is not a good present, a presentable father, and will still be, yeah, let's kick it, man. We going to the club. You coming tonight? So no, we don't, because if we did, I think a lot more men would be like, man, I gotta figure this out. I gotta go figure this out, bro. Dang, shouters don't want to rock with me. My homies ain't even rocking with me, you know. And he'll get the message. You lay down with that woman, help her take care of that child. That's, if you don't want to be with her, fine, cool. But she didn't make that child by herself. You created that responsibility, so you need to help take care of that responsibility. So I don't think men get held accountable enough for being absent fathers. No, they don't. Because a mother, it is so hard on women. When women have children, and then for them to try to go out and start a new relationship, that is hard, especially if they got daughters. Oh man, if they got daughters, that's even harder, bro. And not a present father. So women have to carry that weight of still wanting to have companionship, love, a partner, but can't, because they can't even start to try to build something while their children are young, because they have to protect their safety of all the craziness in the world. Or then they have to deal with, even if they do want to date, they can't find this man that want to date them, because they don't want to put up with the children they had from the previous relationship. But this man has just went on and his life is just thriving. He's got another girl and just repeating the cycle, and nobody's holding them accountable. So no, we don't hold men accountable enough when they need to be held accountable much more. On the other side, do we give enough recognition to fathers who quietly show up every single day? For me, I do. I feel like I do. When I see men that are active, I'm always congratulating. Man, I love to see that, bro. You in daddy mode. You ain't out here trying to be no gangster, no thug, no gang banger. You are here handling your business. And even if he is a gangster, thug, or whatever, I see some dudes that still making sure, boy, they still daddy. They still sitting down playing at the little princess house. They still got them. If they got hair, they let their daughter practice on braiding their hair. And you'll be like, man, this dude hard. He knocked out somebody just the other day. And he's sitting over there. He's sitting over there with his daughter, though. He got, dang, hey, this daddy baby. He's sitting over there with his son playing that PlayStation. Boy, give me that controller with it. I do my best to acknowledge every father that I see putting that time in with their child. And I always like to tell them, man, bro, I see you. Congratulations. You're doing an amazing job. I don't want you to think that that is going unrecognized, because it's not. Keep up the great work. So I do my best to always tell every father I see, just you know, so even if it's a salute without even goddamn having to say something, this is a salute. I see you, because we need to let men know that, bro, I respect you. If I can get on one that ain't doing his job, let me show my respect to those that are doing their jobs. Because there are a lot of amazing fathers out here that is handling their business day in, day out, getting up just like any other mother, fixing them bottles, making that food, taking them to schools, trying their best to do the homework. And boy, we mess up a lot on that homework. Child will be in fail every class. Even if they in first grade, homework is crazy nowadays. But I commend every father that's showing up to make it happen. Let's see what else we got on here. We got a lot of them on here. I'm gonna scan through. I'm gonna do this last one. Which hurts more? Never knowing your father or knowing him and watching him choose not to be there? Oh, I think watching him, knowing your father and watching him choose not to be there. I think that one hurts more. That one hurts a lot more than just never knowing who your father is. Because in my opinion, to see somebody that created you and is the part reason that you're here on this earth, between God, your mother, and then him, he's 1/3 of the reason. And then just the get that rejection, especially as a kid, because you don't know, you trying to figure it out, and you gotta you gotta live with that for life. Yes, as you become a grown up, you understand how to maneuver with it, but you still think about it like, as an adult, you would be like, why he rejecting me? Like, I live over here on this street. My dad lived 15 minutes away from me, and act like I don't exist. Now, some of those reasons is because some of these kids are side babies, and I'm gonna talk about side babies next. We gonna get into side babies, but that's part of the reason why some of these kids, these men are just dodging them, because they got another whole family, and they don't want their wife to know about that side baby. So that's one of the reasons. But I think it's definitely it hurts worse to know that your father's right there and he don't want to build a relationship with you. That is something that I think will really, really burn deep inside of a child, versus just not knowing who he is. You don't know. You don't know where he at, what's the cause. You have no information. That direct, I don't give a F to your face. It's different, man. Hey, let's talk about it, man. Leave a comment. Let's chop it up, man. I went a little bit longer in this video. I try to keep them shorter, but I went a little bit longer in this video, touching bases on this topic, because fathers are important, but it's also important for us to learn a lesson, be that if they're in our life or not in our life. So make sure that y'all keep rocking with me, man. Hit that like, subscribe, follow. Let's grow this channel and keep it going, keep it moving, baby. And if you are getting ready for them hoodies, these episodes are sponsored by Now You See Me. So I need y'all to go over to nowyouseme.com. Go ahead, get you them dope hoodies, the R. Jenkins hoodie, or get you that Mia Moore hoodie. And by the time you watch this video, you might be watching some new dope hoodies. Get you a hoodie and get ready for hoodie season. And not only is hoodies that's going to be on there, it's going to be more and more and more. You can get music. You can get screensavers. Go to Now You See Me. But definitely check out them hoodies, man. We up out here. Hey, keep rocking with me. I love y'all. Woo, woo. Let's go, baby.